And welcome back, everybody, to the CCL Summer 8s tournament powered by eFuse. My name is Seymour. Alongside me, crews all day long. And we're down to two teams. Team Crooked, sorry, Team Fishidy, and Team Crooked. And this is going to be a great grand final because Team Crooked, I mean, if anybody's going to force Team Fishidy to a double best of 5, it has to be this one. Let's take a look at our teams. Let's take a look at the names that have been crossed off. A little bit of a testimony to who we have seen. 47, I know he never showed up yesterday, so he was the first one crossed off our list, but Josh, Plasma, Mental, Tessin, Beastin, Buzz, Venet, Relic, Catalyst, Tactic, Perseus, Fastball, and Red Chase, all these teams crossed off, and now we're down to two. The top two, and let me tell you, they started off in these positions. We never edited anything. It was Fishidy and Crooked, first and second there. They got the first and second draft for that round number 1, and here they are. It is paying off for them.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like the random draft order is what has won the tournament, apparently, because, I mean, our first team and our second team that were drafting, they got their first 2 picks first. It was Purge Army and it was Airstrike, the first 2 picks of the entire draft, and I mean, they've showed up big for these for this tournament here today. And I mean, just looking at this team right now, both of these teams have made some incredible runs. Fishidy's team, they're 4-1 overall. Sorry, 12-1 overall. They have not lost a game yet. But then you look at Crooked's team, they lose their first game, but then they've gone on a 7-match win streak in losers bracket, and they are 17-6 overall map count. Just ridiculous stuff.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And yes, these are the last 2 teams, the first and the second team now, but they have 2 different stories to tell in the CCL bracket. So let's take a look at it and let's see what we have to deal with. Team Fishidy, you can see them. They started off in that round 1, match number 5. They 3-0'd Team Plasma. They 3-0'd Dr. Perseus. They moved on to Beastin. They lost their first map ever in the CCL Summer 8s tournament against Beastin. Then they 3-0'd them after that. Move on to the semifinals. Played it today. They 3-0'd Team Tactic. So they've only lost 1 map to get to where they are. And then you look at Crooked. You go up against Team Beastin in that round 1. You lose in game 5, crews. You move down into the losers bracket. You cross off Josh. You cross Catalyst off the list. Plasma, Beastin, Venet, and now Tactic. Can you add another list? This team, it's like a squad of Grim Reapers just taking it all.
I think if anybody's going to beat Team Fishidy, it's going to be Team Crooked. So that's why I was so happy to see them get here. The one team to take a map off of Team Fishidy was Beastin. Team Crooked lost to them in their winners bracket round 1 match in a 3-2 fashion, but then they smoked them in losers round 4 in the rematch 3-0. So I think if anything, Crooked has a fantastic chance to be able to do this. And what were we saying all day yesterday? We were saying if Crooked has the team behind them, they are going to win their games. The thing is, the team has been there all day. This is just going to be their toughest opponent they've had within this entire tournament because Team Fishidy has looked fantastic as well.
I think that statement's out the window, Cruz. I mean, Shatter and Ray, they're here to stay. You know, Strike and Crooked are going to run that SMG role on this squad, but it's just those ARs were the big question. But they're here, and they're here to win the championship. I can't see this team opting out of the form that we saw in the past one. Fishidy's team, they've had a simple run, it feels like, throughout the whole tournament. But now this is where things get pushed against the wall. If anybody's going to back this team up, it is going to be Team Crooked. I'm banking on a double best of five here. I think that Team Crooked can force the distance. And that Team Fishidy, I mean, they look good, but what was making them look so good is their aggressive playstyle. And now you're putting them up against another team with an aggressive playstyle of SMGs, not FFARs. So that's something you have to watch out for.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see this battle between the SMGs and the FFARs that you know you're going to get on the side of Fishidy. But, I mean, talking about this entire series, let's take a look at these maps because we have a banger of a map set. We got Moscow, followed by Miami, Checkmate, Garrison, and Moscow to finish us off. And, I mean, just looking over this map set, me and you were trying to find something, looking through this map set, that we were like, hey, this team has the clear-cut advantage. And we couldn't find it on any of these maps. No. Not one single one. I think maybe the one exception might be the fact that we have seen Team Crooked play on Miami and they dominated it. But I still just don't see that they're going to dominate Team Fishidy on this Miami Search and Destroy either.
Okay. No, I can see that too. I think that, first off, Fishidy with that FFAR, he was looking good on standoff. He was an unstoppable force. What was he, like 13-5 at the end of that standoff Search and Destroy? So he was good, and he never stopped. I think if you're looking at this and we were discussing it, the best thing for Team Fishidy is that you don't let a raid sneak through. The worst thing in my mind for Team Fishidy is that we've seen Team Crooked, already a 100-point club, a team on Moscow Hardpoint. We saw them 6-2 a team on Miami Search and Destroy yesterday. Checkmate Control is probably going to be a big toss-up between
we've seen them both teams win it, yeah.
Yeah, because we've seen both of them win it. And then Garrison and Moscow are just going to be highly paced maps for SMG players as well. I think this is a perfect map set for both of these teams.
Yeah, and I think like the big difference for me, honestly, I feel like any of the respawns could go either way, to be completely honest. Even though Team Crooked is 10-1 in Hardpoint, I think that either Hardpoint could still go either way, just from the pure aggression that both of these teams have. And let's be honest, it's any given Sunday, right? Once we get down to the grand finals, if it's basically who's going to show up at this point. I think the big thing to me, looking at this map set, is the two search and destroys. I think Miami, I do favor Crooked's team slightly in it, but then looking at the Moscow, I honestly think I favored Fishidy if we do go the full distance to be able to take the Moscow S&D over the likes of Team Crooked, to be honest, as well. So, I mean, I think we're in for a crazy series here, to be completely honest. It could go all 5, and we could see a second best of 5, which will probably also go all 5. Let's be honest, because when me and you cast grand finals, it always seems like we go the full distance.
They never stop whatsoever. Chat, I want to hear from you as well. Let us know. Team Crookedy, our team.
Crookedy?
Team Crooked, are they going to make history today from the losers bracket to the grand finals? Team Fishidy, will they keep the stomp going and finish this right now in this first best of 5? I think it's going to go a second best of 5. Cruz, I think you think it's going to go double best of 5 as well. It's going to be great, but I think it's time to get into this. One last thank you to eFuse, as this wouldn't be possible for them whatsoever. The CCL Summer 8s tournament is only getting to the good stuff. Listen, it's been good all so far, but this is the best game we get all tournament long, and it's the grand finals. This is going to be fantastic. Moscow Hardpoint, let's head to the Motherlands.
Absolutely. I think the last time we watched Moscow get played by Team Crooked earlier on, I know we didn't get to see the finish of the game on stream, but the big thing for me watching Team Crooked on this map mode combo was they did a great job of almost every single hill being the first team to early rotate to that hill. They might lose the back 20 seconds of the hill, but they were just doing a great job of controlling the pace of spawns over and over and over again that game. But so far, actually, Team Fishidy has done a great job of pushing through. They might be able to flip these spawns out right away off the rip, along with controlling the first 30 of this middle hill.
So got 22 seconds to break through this, as the spawns won't be affected until that first hill is gone. But so far, so good for Team Fishidy on Moscow Hardpoint. Purge set up in police, and this AR doesn't seem like he wants to leave. 4 in a row for Purge. And here comes the full force of the res. Nice shots from Ray. There goes 2 kills in their way. Time to flood on in, and it is Purge who's gonna spawn out. Back towards the escalators. Crooked gets the first one back in, clears the hardpoint. But still a toss-up on who's going to take this. Strikes up next. You do see the push through screens. Purge is going to be there. A team kill from Records. And nobody yet to get on here. Still 0 points in Team Crooked's favor.
Great break back from Team Crooked. They absolutely needed that. They didn't want to give up too much time here, especially after that first little bit, but actually they still haven't been able to get inside of this hill yet. Team Fishidy has done a great job of just kind of battling this back from the front. Finally, they should be able to stabilize a little bit here, unless Zip finds this kill on a Crooked, and he does. So still basically no time earned for the side of Team Crooked, and they've held the spawns for this entire hill.
7 seconds so far for Team Crooked, and there's only 12 left now for them to gain on this. You're looking at the rotations of the hill 3, and Fishy, they're here. Oh, that was free. Now you're looking at this. All 4 players for Team Crooked are going to group up through gold. Player number 6, he's in the box. He's going to watch this cross, and they have him set up, pinched on either side. Records finds 2. So far, this is so good for Team Fishidy, as they're going to get this initial time and win the gunfights. You see the spawns for Team Crooked. They're going to be at Eskies. Now it's time for wave number 2. Cruz Strike's going to open on up with this FFAR. Can he clear out Zip? Laying down. He does that. The break is solid. 33 seconds on this hill. Now can they take care of the respawns back here? Take care of 1, but number 8, Records, he finds one. It gives 6 an opening now.
That is such a needed break there from Team Crooked. By far the best hardpoint team that we have seen in this entire tournament here. And beautiful break when the time was needed most. And now, I mean, it's going to be a foot race towards this next hill. Both teams just trying to jockey for position right now, and it should be the side of Team Crooked that end up coming out on top. I feel like their last player might spawn on them. No, he's going to spawn in no man's land. Absolutely the worst spawn you could possibly get onto this hill.
Shatter, a little bit awkward, down and dirty in the closet. You look at that, all blue in the kill feed. Marginally a tie game here. Strike, can you find Zip? He's gonna have a second backup there from Wreckers, and they do maintain control of Boulevard so far, but you can see the ARs, this is where they're gonna thrive. This is where Shatter and Ray can make their mark, is on this hill best. But Purge, he's already set up inside that bus with Fishidy alongside him, so on the other half, Team Fishidy, I mean, they're set to go here, and they're ready to blow this one out of proportion. You can see Crooked trying to hit a flank. They know where he is, that he's still taking the kills. The only thing is that his teammates aren't doing anything. Crooked's a one-man army on a 3 spree. He's 10 and 7. He's trying to do it all, but they just can't get into this hill.
The one positive right now from the side of Team Crooked is the fact that they've been able to push all the way back in, kind of keep this game level. Yes, you are down 50 points, but that's basically those 50 points from the first hill. Everything since the first hill has been super even. They just need to find a way, find one hill where you can get a full 60 and bring yourselves back into this game.
First ones here are going to be Crooked. Before we go down, 14 Fishidy. You see Purge takes out the trophy system. They know where he is. He's going to hop on for a contest, but you see the Crooked are setting up to take him down. Crooked pushes in there, but he's going to whip some shots, and Purge is going to make him pay. So they break on in like it was nothing. And Fishy, I think
they flipped again.
Yeah, this is just not looking good. I mean, they get the flip into the spawns, and this second set of rotations, you need to make sure that you can get these rotations a lot better if you're Team Crooked.
And neither team was dominant on Hill 2 last time through. It was basically Team Crooked broke from the back, and Fishidy was holding them off from the front. No team could hold on. No team could get time. It's going to have to be a very similar break from the side of Team Crooked this time through as well.
Strike finds Purge already. Avoids the nade, and he has backup now. All 4 players tumbling on in. Flawless so far. Can they take down Fishidy? He's on the head glitch, and that FFAR is so deadly on the crossfire because it shoots so fast. So it's going to be 3 down in retaliation. Fishidy are going to hop back into this hill. Purge is going to be set up, and you can look at the setup they have too. Fishidy's pushing through Boulevard, and you get the backup through screens as well. So this setup from Team Fishidy, it's practically impenetrable.
Yeah, you're not wrong. This is a fantastic hold right now. I mean, I think if you're Team Crooked, you maybe take one more swing at this. If you don't get it here, you need to give it up and go towards the next hill. And they don't even send all of their players. It's only going to be Crooked now, trying to hold on to this by himself. He does a valiant effort. He takes down 3. He can't take down the entire team, though, on 2 different spawns. But this is the chance now for Team Crooked. You contest a good amount of time on that hill. You're still down 60 points. You have the full setup here for P3 at Library. You need a full hold.
Look at the blue arrows. You got 2 pushing through the top of the mini-map to get rid of Strike, and 2 that were inside gold. Now up to 1. Oh, but player number 7, he spawns up into the bank. So close spawns for this will provide a close retake for the squad. But the kills are going the way of Team Crooked. 2 so far. They deal with the players in their spawn. Now they need to take their sights to the front of the hill because the push through escalators is where we're going to see Team Fishidy flood on in. Fishidy's the first one out. He's the first to drop, and look at this flood. They're just going to collapse on these players. Purge able to win a big one-on-one to get onto this hill for contention. And Wreckers actually breaks Shatter off of it as well, so it is going to be Fishidy now collecting time into this. You need to get back on if you're Team Crooked, or else you're just going to be losing valuable scrap time into it. So they do break. They get the rest of the 12 seconds. Now you got to think about the rotation.
We'll be right back to around a 30-point game at the end of this hill. And Ray with a huge gunfight there. He's on 5. He's possibly looking for some streaks right now. If he can find streaks, it could lead to such a good chance for an opening here. He'll take the shots down range. He'll get on a 6. They have full spawns. They can zone these players out so deep because of the positioning of Crooked right now as well.
The setup that we saw from Team Fishidy last time with the ARs in the position they want to be, but this time it's flipped. It's Crooked in control now. The breakthrough bank. Fishidy's going to lead it. Goes 1 for 1, but it stays even. Ray keeping his streak going now on 7. The artillery strike should be in his back pocket, and he finds an 8-2. So Christmas a lockdown, still alive on this streak. We're going to be at a tie game in 10 seconds, and Team Crooked, they have fought their way right back into it, well dealing with the side of Team Fishidy, right on the edge of the world now, one-on-one with Records into the hill. Shrike's going to take him down. Nobody collecting this time. Team Crooked, congratulations, you're right back into the map.
Yeah, we're practically at a tie game here. Both teams not even playing for that last 10 seconds. They're trying to jockey for position through the middle of this metro, and you can already see a full setup here from Team Crooked. 2 will fall right away, though, so beautiful jump from Fishidy to just be able to find 2 kills to open that up for themselves to be able to get on through. But Zip, he gets aggressive through the middle, and it works out beautifully. Team Fishidy, they get the full break back into Hill 1 again.
It's very clean. This is going to be a good setup now for time. If you're Team Crooked, you can't leave this one out for too long. Ray's going to be over the shoulder, gets in for the contestation, can't find a second one. So 33 seconds, still on the clock. Fishidy finds a double kill. So this last couple of time, you need to look at Team Crooked just to maintain their spawns, because this hill number 2, it's been hotly contested. They need to change that.
Here's the thing, though. Team Crooked has not been in control of the spawns one time going into Hill 2. They've had to break every single time. Will that be the case again one more time? Here's player 2 will spawn out super deep, so Strike has to make the full trip across the map just to get back to help his team and reinforce them, and everybody on Team Fishidy is going to be coming through mid.
Well, he's going to catch Purge off, so this is going to pay off for Strike indeed. Calls for Crooked to back him up. 3 go down. They push that line of scrimmage. Now look how far Team Fishidy are. They're going to be spawning up towards Fountain, so they have a long time before they can get into it. And Strike, he is still going. Now Crooked on 6 in a row, looking to play for that artillery strike. And if they could get 2 sets of streaks for the team, that would be huge. Records just on the other side of this wall. Takes a little bit of damage. Strike's going to take him down, so yet to get that artillery strike. But 31 seconds, they could take the lead here.
They absolutely can, and they have streaks to break the next hill as well. And I don't know if Fishidy knows about those streaks. If you look over at Ray right now, yes, he's 21 and 16. But before that streak, he really had not been popping off that much. I don't think that they think he has streaks at this very moment in the game. So whether or not, it's really going to depend on how they play for this game here, on whether these streaks are going to work out well or not.
Fishidy, they have a good setup for this hill. They have middle map control. They have bank control. They're going to be spawning Crooked out every single kill very far away. So look at the streaks. Artillery strike inside there. Zip gets taken off the hill, and here comes the flood. Shatter up next. Another artillery strike. Say goodbye to Purge. The break so good for Team Crooked. Much needed. And now you have to look at the retake. Now it's do or die for Team Fishidy here in this one. Crooked gets the artillery strikes. Luckily, Zip's going to hop on for the contestation. He needs to stay alive here. They go 1 for 1 into it. Crooked finds another one. He's on 8 in a row. Team Crooked, they have blown this one open. The only way to take down Crooked is with a team kill.
And they can win it here on this hill. Actually, they can't win anymore. They were able to right before that last kill came through. Unfortunately, they get jumped off the tick, but I mean, they're not even in a terrible spot right now. You play for this last little bit of time. If you're Ray, you'll get very, very close to being able to win here. You still have 2 full sets of streaks. Sorry, Ray has the cruise missile. You've got full streaks on Crooked. Absolutely every chance in the world to take this game here on Boulevard.
Can he bend it on in there? He cannot. Purge is going to drop inside gold. 4 seconds left. Here comes another cruise missile. Rain tear onto him. You still get the break from the side of Fishidy. So it's not done yet, but 1 second is needed. Staying alive is the name of the game.
I dodged both cruise missiles.
Here's the artillery strike.
That's the last streak.
And
no Shatter finds anything.
He finds that strike goes down. Ray drops as well. 24 seconds left. They can't win on this hill. But Team Crooked, what? He snuck in. He snuck in through offices.
He jumped through the doggy door and got onto the hill. Oh my god, what a heads-up play. That's the 8,000 IQ. You only need 1 tick. Just sneak your way on in and win the game.
Just touch.
Oh my, I thought they were about to throw that away at the end there.
I mean, just touch and you win it out. That's what Team Crooked were looking at. And yeah, I mean, give it to Fishidy though, Cruz. I mean, they dodged so many streaks. They made it look close towards the end there, and it was close, 250 to 238. But
That was a tight game through and through. Let's be honest. Like, you got to think, if he doesn't hop onto that hill and sneak his way through, that's probably a Fishidy win with the way that they were zoning out all the players on Team Crooked there. So, I mean, very good for them to be able to close that game out and take that win. Yes, a little bit closer than I think they would have wanted it to be at the end.
I mean, you have to look at the last hill too. I mean, Team Fishidy, they would have had to withstand the barrage of Crooked players and not allow one tick to go through while they rotate from hills 4.
I think they had enough time to win, no?
So, no, they didn't have enough time to win because the condition came through for a second. So they would have been 1 point off. It would have been 249 to 249 into the rotation to that hill 1. So they had to fight for that battle as well. There was so much on the need to do list of Team Fishidy towards the end of that hard point, and Team Crooked, they just need to break in for 1, and they do that. They hop through that doggy door, they win it out. So I mean, Miami hard point, or Miami Search and Destroy coming up next. We've seen Team Crooked, but I mean, we've also already seen Team Fishidy look really good in the Search and Destroys today.
We have seen Team Fishidy look really good in the Search and Destroys today. Unfortunately, they're heading in towards a playground for Crooked right now. Oh, yeah. And we saw them yesterday. This was a map, what was it? It was a 6-1 or a 6-2 victory. I can't quite remember. This is a 6-2 victory that Crooked got over Beeston yesterday. And Beeston, it was Search and Destroy was their game mode. So you got to think that if Crooked was able to take this on them, that they have a very good chance to be able to take this map and mode combo within this series against Team Fishidy as well. So it's really going to come down to, again, Fishidy needs to come out in this game and really slow down the SMG duo. You can't let them take over the piano in the garage the way that they did against the likes of Beeston.
No, you can't. You can't whatsoever. I mean, this is another situation that we've been talking about all day, is that going into that checkmate control, you know that with momentum in hand for Crooked, they can run away with that control again for those attacking rounds and the defending rounds. So it's another situation where you can say this would be a must-win for Team Fishidy. It's going to be a big one, and if they can bounce back, you have to watch for that piano control. I think a big factor into the standoff that we saw for Team Fishidy is that they were doing a really good job at maintaining hotel control. So if they can do the exact same thing against Team Crooked and take control of piano, I think they're going to open up a lot of doors for victory inside Miami.
Yeah, that's really where it's going to hurt them. And then even on offense, maybe don't even force the bomb over towards piano if you don't have to. If you can get the full wrap and go out towards the beach every single time, I don't see why you don't do that. Take the longer range gunfights. You've got those damaging FFARs that you take that FFAR up against the AK-74U at range, you're going to win them. So Crooked could be held useless if they don't play into his game in this map.
Has to be the way we see things. Looks like we're having some lobby issues to get into the second map in Miami. We're going to cut to a break for this grand finals. When we come back, we will continue under the nightlife of the Miami skyline. So we are going to cut. We'll come back with that second map. Stay tuned, everyone. And welcome back, everyone, to the grand finals of the CCL Summer 8s, powered by eFuse. A little bit late into it, but still get to witness the first blood from Crooked. They take control towards B, but an answer back instantly from Fishidy. So can you take care of the player towards the alley? That is the next step of business. Nade comes out. Shatter knows he's there. Now it's time to go. Oh, but the sun, that comes just in time to keep them away, but now you got Purge watching over the shoulder. Shatter walks to his death, and that's tough.
That push is just not it, and Crooked needs to be very aware that Fishidy is up in this top building right now, and he absolutely is. He's going to turn, find that player, and now they have a chance to try to be able to push up and get this bomb down. But actually, Shatter fell with that bomb in the worst spot ever.
Oh, and Purge is going to line him up. Crooked now 1v2. 19 seconds to work with. You see Purge just hops right back up that half-wall record, relocates, and yeah, that bomb couldn't have been dropped in a worse situation.
Yeah, Shatter needs to make a better play with the bomb there. That round is completely on him. He not only pushes out by himself, but pushes out by himself with the bomb and puts it down in between two players on the opposing team. Definitely not a spot where you want that bomb to be down at. We'll see how they respond with their own defense here. We know offense is a little bit tougher to win here on Miami, so maybe they can just put that one in their back pocket, forget about it, try to move on to the next one. But it looks like exactly what I called for. No hit going over towards the B side off the rip here. It's going to be Team Fishidy, a very heavy A hit coming in.
Yeah, but Lisa, remember, this is where Crooked and Strike thrive. The information is there. Player number 2, Shatter, can't make anything happen on that boat. Big first blood for the squad. Ray throws some shots down range, but Fishidy's able to escape and find Crooked. Bomb's going down. 4v2. Team Fishidy, they're in a great position to go up 2-0 right now. Ray, though, making himself known. And soon, he's going to fall as well. Strike 1v4. This has to be a 2-0 start to Team Fishidy under the lights of Miami. This is amazing. This is a great bounce back.
That's the perfect start. It's exactly what they need right off the rip here. Just a beautiful use there of those, of the way that they push out towards the A site to really open things up. Once they get that first blood, it opens up so much of the map. They push all the way up. They find the second kill onto Crooked as well. And now, for the likes of Team Crooked, it looks like they're going to call the audible this time. Not go towards the A site, towards the B site. There's going to be 3 players set up, ready and waiting there for Team Fishidy, but the bomb not going anywhere near that site right now.
You remember in standoff when Fishidy was able to walk through the middle of the map undetected and even come away with a kill? Well, look at him right now. He walks through the middle of the map undetected. He's already checked 2 things off of that list. Now looking for that first blood, but Crooked's pushing in to the B side, looking to play spoiler off the rotations, waiting for his team to strike over towards A and possibly get the bomb down before he goes. Player number 5, Zip, not gonna be ready for it. There you go, first blood into the hands of Team Crooked. Now it's go time to get that bomb down at A and Strike. I mean, hop on there, bud. You can do this. Maybe just hunting for another kill to absolutely make it known, but you're allowing Team Fishidy to rotate around and get into better positions to shut off your attack.
He's a little paranoid right now for sure. They knew that there was one more in the back, and records will end up getting shut down here. So Bomb with a chance to go down, but because, like you called, Fishidy was able to get into that powerful position. Usually you just sit in that spot and you watch Bomb from there to try to stop them from being able to get the defuse. Works out perfectly in the other favor as well, but Purge will be last alive. He ends up dropping as well, so Team Crooked, they will pull that one out, but that one was just definitely way too slow.
Way too close for comfort for Team Crooked. I mean, Fishidy, he pushes to the middle of the map. He gets into that hotel spot. So everything that was being accomplished from Team Crooked towards the A site, as soon as you get onto that bomb, he's just able to play spoiler, get that down. Luckily, Crooked was there because Crooked was able to get into a position to take Fishidy down and then set up a pinch onto Purge. But if Crooked wasn't in that spot, and if he didn't find Zips, that could have been scary for Team Crooked. And this time around, back onto attack Team Fishidy. Finally lost that momentum. Strike and Crooked are back towards Bar, and this time Shatter's got some backup in the hands of Ray towards the A side. That's where the bomb's going.
Might be able to get it down there, but there, like you said, there's a lot of pressure over here with the likes of Shatter now being able to help out Ray over towards this side. They trust in their SMG duo over towards this B side as well. But Fishidy again, this mid-map sneaky play. He's going to try to make his way up through the middle of the map, try to catch one of these players off guard. He's not spotting anything. So this might give him the opening to actually just try to push completely through here. It's exactly what it does.
And he strikes, but Kirk is going to find it. Oh, I thought he was going to get away with it, but not this time, bud. 4 on 3, 21 seconds. Time is ticking away. And the bomb's so far away too. Zip, he's got to rotate on. Purge inside that alley. Crooked's going to peek on out, put some shots down. Zip has to get there to help. Can't find the trade. Strike shoots him from behind. And that was just way too long again for Team Fishy to do anything on that attack. It was just... Well, by the time Zips was rotating around, there was like 17 seconds.
I think for Fishidy there, I think it's just because they have zero information that entire round. Crooked and Co, they just don't give anything away. Strike goes up top. Crooked plays in towards the middle of the map, and thank God he was watching that. Because if he wasn't, you bet yourself that Fishidy would have been able to find at least one kill. Probably on anybody else on the team there in that situation, but Crooked, he's there, he's watching it on a 4 spree now after starting the game on 2. He needs to keep it up. He knows he needs to put this team on his back to really help carry these guys to victory. And it's going to be a B hit once again here, and he might have some action early with Fishidy. I know Fishidy just crawls and he sneaks his way all the way through middle of the map again.
He's gonna sneak all the time, but yeah, Fishidy strikes. He finds Shatter, and now Crooked, they're trapped in there. Zip's gonna be on the staircase. You have player number 6, Records, inside the alleyway. A perfect setup. But Strike. Oh, Strike in this position. He can find it all, but Crooked peeks out. That's gonna be bombed down now. And the players are dropping like flies. 4v1 for Team Crooked, and Ray, he doesn't know what to do in the situation. He's got no presence at all. A Krig 6 in hand, and he's got to push into garage, find both players to his right and left. Takes care of Zip. But he doesn't know Records was right behind. He's going to back on out, look for some more kills. Down into the water, Fishidy strikes. They take back their lead, only by 1.
It's crazy. It's like a classic Miami search and destroy right now. It just feels like you get that first blood, you get that advantage. It makes life so much easier for yourselves because, one, you probably are... Most of the time, it's the player who's flanking that's going to be the first one to get into an engagement, so you'll have such a good chance to set up a pinch. But also, it just feels like once you get that, you can just pair up with your teammates and just take those 1-on-2 gunfights, even more so on this map than other maps. And it's just been working out so well for Fishidy. Every time they get that blood, they turn it into a round victory here. And now, once again, going towards the A site with the with the bomb, very similar to their very first offensive round that we saw. And Fishidy again takes complete control middle of the map.
Zip, he goes 1 for 1, takes down Shatter on the boat, and he has player number 6 Records right behind him to force a Ray off of that top bar. Down into the showers outside. And they know exactly where he is. Ray, you gotta run! Records finds him. That's 2 players down now. That should give up the plant towards A. But player number 3, look at Strike. He's in a situation to play spoiler to this plant. Exactly like Fishidy did before. Zips. He's gonna be taking a ton of damage, down to 18 health. But Strike goes down to Fishidy before that can happen. Now it's up to Crooked to clutch up in a 1v2. Was a 1v3. They know where he's coming from. Now they'd have to set up for the trades. They're going to play side by side, and Crooked, he's rotating back up to the balcony. Fishidy spots him. Zip's going to react to that, and it's not even going to matter because Fishidy's going to take that gunfight with the FFAR as confident as ever and take their lead to 2.
It's just a fantastic round there. Honestly, they get that first blood again through the middle. Once they push out onto the site, it just makes life so easy for themselves there. And you just got to think somebody on Crooked has got to start looking towards the middle of the map. You can't just keep letting Fishidy walk straight up the middle of the map without even being checked at all throughout this game here. He is 8-3 on a 4 spree, probably trying to play for some streaks right now, so maybe he might not get so aggressive through this round. But also, in the same sense of the word, why change what isn't broken right now? Because it's very clearly working.
Oh, Ray? He thrived in that balcony spot yesterday. He did a good job at making sure that those rotations dropped as quick as ever. There you go, Ray. Spots Fishidy, but Fishidy sees him back. He's just going to sit there. Nade's not going to land. Crooked off screen is able to find first blood inside that garage too. So if they take down Fishidy, that could open up the A site. It could call for a rotation, and Strike, he's going to put so much pressure on this assault rifle player. You're calling for the rotation. Look at this. Look at player number 8, Purge. He's going to strike from behind. I didn't even see him get back there. He was playing back at the boat. So now, in this situation, can he take that bomb down? He can. He drops into Shatter's hands, and now 1v3. Oh, Purge, he could have spoiled that whole thing, but now it's up to Records. And Strike's gonna lock him down. Team Crooked, 3 rounds under their belt. They take this back.
These rounds are just absolute chaos here. I thought Purge had every chance in the world there. If Crooked doesn't go around that corner 1 second sooner, he probably finds that kill there onto Crooked. And it would have been so helpful. But nonetheless, Crooked, they claw their way back into this game, back on defense. Now, this is really their chance. They finally get that offensive win. If they get a defensive win here, This would just be so huge for their team for some momentum building forward throughout the rest of this map.
Actually, yeah, I feel like they should know, and yeah, they do. Ray takes down Fishy this time. How many times is he gonna do that same play before Team Crooked catches him out? So player numbers now to Team Crooked. All 3 players for Fishy are gonna be slow burning over to the A site to get this bomb down. And Team Crooked, they have no idea. They have no information. They've actually backed off to the A site, put a lot of emphasis towards B. And now Ray, he should know this, but still.
They're still in a good post plant setup right now. This could absolutely work out very well for the side of Fishidy, but Shatter will find that first blood. This is going to make Purge not be able to sit in that spot anymore.
Oh, Purge. 3v2. Wreckers finds Shatter, evens us up. Crooked and Strike. Strike's gotta wait for Crooked to get out here. He can't go down in this situation. Because you can't have another 1vx situation. They're going to be forcing the gunfight to Strike, but Purge hits up onto that Tiki spot, and they play both angles to perfection. The Guardian Angel strategy from both players helping each other out. Look at this. Purge finds Strike, and Records finds Crooked. He just hits the ground as soon as that happens. You couldn't have played that any better if you're Team Fishidy.
The huge 2 versus 4 there completely takes the grasp of the game. Puts the stranglehold on it now, up 5-3 here. And you just gotta think, man, Team Crooked, they could have won so many of these rounds, and it's just falling apart at the very end. 4v2s, man, are just situations where you just need to play together and play for trades, but they were just never in a spot where they could play for a trade in their last round, and now back on offense. They seem like kind of skeptical just to push into this B site. It's a very slow hit again. Maybe Strike's just watching for Fishidy through middle of the map. He's got some information apparently, but just doesn't seem like enough right now. You got to think this bomb is going to probably rotate towards B very soon.
Zip in the corner. He's going to be the first contact for this team. And Records in no position to trade him out if they find him, if he gets too aggressive. Crooked's going to push into this. This line is there. They take him out. No trade just yet. And Shatter actually finds Records as he tries to make this even. And that's going to put him in a bad spot now. Bomb's going to go down. Player numbers heavily in favor of Crooked. And they just went even farther. Fishy all alone. A flawless round to that B site. And again, as close as ever. Only 1 round away from tying us up and sending us to a round 11.
And again, it's the team to find the first blood. In the middle of Miami, you find one, you get onto the site. It makes your life so much easier because it just opens up so many more angles that your team needs to watch for each site. And they get it in, they get the bomb down, and they're still only 2 rounds away from a 2-0 series lead here. And I mean, if they can go 2-0 up on Team Fishidy with Crooked going 10-5 and everybody else negative, you got to think that puts some confidence in their back pocket going into our next 2 respawns.
Let me drive the boat. He's waiting.
Fish is on the boat.
Crooked goes back with Strike to that top piano, and as soon this time, as they see that there's nobody there, they react in a different way. Crooked's gonna push out over towards that water, and you see Strike go to back up his team. Fishy, though, spots them out on that boat position, and in retaliation, Ray finds 2 out into the beach, and he's gonna go for a swim just to cool himself off, but Zip, hot shots are gonna make sure that doesn't happen. 2-2. Bomb still in hand of Zip. Fishy still present over here, but Strike now picking up where Crooked left off. That's a little bit awkward. Fishy now. Oh, wow, Fishy.
That's just one you can't lose. And now they're just going to make the wrap over towards B. They don't need to worry about this player. They know he was at A. He was playing that deep beach. And now it's really just all up to Shatter. He's got the Krieg 6 in hand. Needs to find a way to close this round out here. Oh, and they're just going to play the post-plant dock setup. I love this play from the Team Fishidy.
I mean, Shatter's got a Krieg, though, so if anything is going to rip them off of that, it is going to be this. But, I mean, all Zip has to do is wait for Fishy to take contact. If Fishy goes down, Zip, he can just rotate into the closet and take a different line of sight onto that. And Shatter has no idea. The time is going down considerably low. Fishidy spots him, hits the deck. Shatter has nothing to do but hope that he can get away with anything. But yeah, I mean, there was too much time burnt off the clock by the time he got there, and there was no time to clear out both Zip and Fishidy from that back dock setup. Yeah, it goes back to that one-on-one at Hotel. Just you can't lose those.
Yeah, and I honestly, I don't know about you, but I can't think of a single round where the team that got first blood didn't end up closing out the round there on Miami. So, I mean, a very slow-paced Miami game, but honestly, kind of what you expect from Miami as well. You expect if you get that first blood, you group up with your team, you do really well. I think the only one actually is the 2v4 that Crooked lost. Once they were up 4v2 and they ended up getting brought back. I think that's the only one that I can think of that they ended up losing. And I mean, that's just a round that you absolutely can't lose anyways. So unfortunate situation there for Team Crooked, but nonetheless, Fishidy going to tie us up at 1-1 here in our first series of the grand finals. Again, it's going to have to be Team Crooked to take 2 more games than this to go to a second best of 5. But I mean, if we get there, we get there, man.
We get there. We're even Stevens. Miami was the equalizer. We're going to head to a break when we get set up for checkmate. When we come back, we're going to hop in with that control and see who's going to take the momentum in this best of 5. And welcome back, everybody, to the CCL Summer 8s tournament powered by eFuse. My name's Seymour. Alongside me is Cruz and Spaz, and we're here with Game 3 between Team Fishidy and Team Crooked in the grand finals. First best of 5. As just a reiteration, Team Crooked has to win 2 best of 5s to win this grand final. However, Team Fishidy, they only need 1. Checkmate. It's where we're going next, Cruz. And this is where we're looking at both of them to kind of swing even.
I mean, we've seen both these teams. They've played control multiple times throughout the weekend. Crooked's team 6-1, Fishidy's team 4-0. So I mean, we're in for another gauntlet of a match, I think. And we said it going into the series that we thought that either one of these teams could take any single one of these maps. We're favoring Fishidy's team slightly in the search and destroys, and we're favoring Crooked's team slightly in the hard points. That's what we were like. That's was the 50-50 going into this. So this is really the big swing mode right now. It's whether or not we can see Team Crooked 1 take another respawn off of this Fishidy team, or whether or not that Fishidy can come and just take in one of these next 2 maps and then force that game 5. Which, I mean, if we go to that Moscow search and destroy, I really do think that Fishidy will end up taking it.
Okay, that's a good take. I like that. You know, we set the scales of the grand final, and, you know, it tipped a little bit towards the side of Crooked for that hard point with them clutching up like that. And then Fishidy's team, they're like, okay, search and destroy, we're going to run that stuff. I mean, you saw Fishidy, he said, let me drive the boat. Finds that one, locks down that, even the turn and burn onto Shatter. Like, I heard into the game chat after, Fishy was like, hey man, like, you scared me. Like I don't usually shoot bodies, but I love that. I love that. Fishy lets him know when that happened, and you're extremely right. Going to checkmate, it's probably that mode we're looking at both of these teams to kind of lay even, so I really want to see them kind of step back off that aggressive playstyle, know that this is probably a bigger game than expected, or a bigger map than expected between the two of them, and really try to work around each other, try to find those flaws, try to find the cracks in the armor for this checkmate, because these two are the best we got here for this 8th tournament, and it's going to be hard to just run rampant right at them and find those good breakoffs like that.
I mean, checkmate, man. Checkmate control. It's the perfect child of hardpoint and search and destroy. It is, honestly, it's really such a good game mode, just in terms of you really can have that team that's so good at search and destroy still find their success in control, but also that team that's so good at hardpoint, because they're such a slay heavy team, they can still come out and still slay the same way and be rewarded for it in a very similar way because of it being control. So, I mean, the big thing for this is who's going to win that offense. And if we don't see an offensive one, who's going to get the final defense? That's the things we really need to be looking out for when we head in towards this control.
It's going to be huge. Let's see it. Hopping a little bit late to the action, you can see Team Fishidy on the attack, all ready to A. And they're looking to work on this first segment. Actually, the second segment almost done too. They're doing a really good job at expending this time. So you can finally see a break coming through from Team Crooked. They clear out 4. Now it's time to reap the reward and take a little bit of map control.
Yeah, they need to push up and push up fast. Surprisingly, actually, lives are completely even as well. So Team Crooked they didn't get dropped, even though they lose a ton of progression and that opening break. Just the fact that they're able to break right back into this, right back right away. It's just it's huge for the fact that they can do it. Now, if you're looking at Team Fishidy here, though, they've completely gotten plane control back. And I say that, and then Ray and Strike go on a spree inside the plane. Talk about a spree. Ray also finds another one on the outside. So we thought they had control. Not going to be the case. Now Team Crooked, they can push up. They can try to actually start to implement the spawn trap a little bit here.
Ray, though, only finding one in that fish. He does a good job at sitting out towards the B wing, taking down a couple players, and making sure that Team Fishidy has that exit strategy towards the bottom of the mini map. So 24 seconds left, and counting. The full collapse of Team Crooked to make sure that they can't get presence onto A, but a break records and Zip. They find all four. Now they're going to stack the site, but I would have rather them go over to A to extend this time. This is going to be very risky, but if they take the risk and it rewards them, it will reward them very promisingly because they only need the one tick to A. Fishidy hops over the wall too. He's going to be in the spawn.
Oh,
you
no.
see Strike finds two. He gets it behind Fishidy and Zip. They got to go big here, because this is do or die for them. They get the break towards B. Time's ticking. They clean up Fishidy, and that is why I would have preferred them to go over to A.
That's the issue with when you go and hit B at that stage of the game. Now you've only got 3 seconds left to touch the hill. Record should be able to get on at the very least, but how long can he stay alive and play his life here before reinforcements are here? And apparently not very long, because Zip is already right back inside the frame. But he's, again, just by himself. He's in a terrible spot. Time will continue to click down here. I don't think anybody can get close enough. Team Crooked do win the round, but they give up 4 ticks of progression in the meantime.
Not a bad round for Team Fishidy. If they took a quick dash to A and cleaned up that last tick of progression, who knows what we might have seen. Maybe Team Crooked, they backed up and they hold off on the B side while giving up maybe 1 or 2 ticks. But the fact that you confirm yourself 4 ticks into that round, that's good. You walk away with that. You hold that for that round 5 to come. So you now know that Team Fishidy, they have a little bit of progression towards that round 5 in case we go there. Now Team Crooked onto the attack. Let's see how they can handle this break.
And it's looking like that B hit that we see so often from them.
Right into the fray. Onto the side they go. The slide to Fishidy. That FFAR so good at snapping and burning down the opposition. They do enough. Shatter finds Zip. He actually takes down 2 with Ray, so they're going to hop onto the site now look for progression.
So the thing that we constantly see Team Crooked do is once they get onto one of the sites, they usually try to split the sites together. Doesn't look like that's going to come into fray this time, but they do get a lot of kills off of spawn, though. So only 1 player left again here for the side of Team Fishidy, and Shatter and Ray, they stand tall one more time inside of this hill.
That's B gone. That is B eliminated off this. 2 minutes and 13 seconds now to capture the A site. The easier site to take as well. Now Crooked making the overextension through the A side to get in behind and look to make a little bit more of a damage into the back line of the opposition, and he's doing a good job at staying alive as well. You have player number 1 in the plane. That is going to be Fishidy to try to cut these players in half. It's 1 tick is gone towards A. You got 2 players on to get this progression going as fast as possible. Here comes Fishidy from behind. He takes him out. Zip's going to find Strike as well, so now Crooked's all alone back here, and you can see he is just going to maintain the spot and trust his teammates to break out.
He's putting full trust in his teammates to be able to 3v4 their way out of this hill, and it is not working out so far for them here.
I mean, they have
Big
time.
one-on-one. Yeah, they do have time, but this is a huge one-on-one. Zip wins it again, stays alive, and actually plays his life. He can find another strike, turns on him, though. I mean, at some point, though, Crooked needs to understand that he needs to turn around and go back and help his teammates get out of this.
But eventually, look, this is going to pay off because Crooked's going to take the fight to both 1 and 4, and it gives a 3-on-2 now for the site. Record's able to keep the pressure off of him. And it wasn't enough from Crooked's. Exactly that. 14 lives to 15. Here comes the break now. Strike through the plate. Gets the shot punch. Fishidy's not going to get the shots on before falling. Calls for Ray to cut him down. Now, here comes the push towards the A site. 2 players left there. You can see player number 5 Strikes looking for that plane control towards the back. And here's the break from Shadow 2. Gets into the hill. It is contested by Purge. He goes 1 for 1 as well. So here comes the progression now towards A.
But it's only Crooked on the hill, so this is going to go very, very slowly here. He's all by himself as well. He will win out on the first one. He needs to just try to play his life and stay alive here while waiting for his teammates to come back off spawn. But plane control, man, it is still in complete control of Team Fishidy right now. They do finally get him off, so this is the best opening right now for Team Crooked to try to get onto this hill.
Look at Crooked. Again, he's in a position to make the difference, but nobody on Fishidy is crossing, so it's making no difference at all. Here comes the pounce, though. Purge goes down from behind. It's Wreckers to fall next. 3 kills in the favor. 3 lives left for Team Fishidy to break on in 37 seconds. And here's the progression. It is going fast. So Purge is going to have to make a kill or find some kills into here. Shatters down, but not enough to take them all off of the board. So that's going to be a 2-0 for Team Crooked. And you can see, I mean, if Purge lasted any longer there, he was about to get flanked as well. So that was a perfect setup from Team Crooked.
That was a very weird round. Shatter and Ray just went absolutely massive at the very start of that round. They capped that site by themselves. They handled 2 full wipes of the side of Team Fishidy to help them get out of that round. And I mean, yes, you did have Strike and Crooked come back. They were the 2 players who ended up being the players flying forward and died both times. But just the fact that you had both of them stay alive, capped that zone, very big for the team there. And now Team Crooked, I mean, they only need to win 1 more round to close this game out here for themselves here. And you got to think that it's a matter of time at this point, but it's just really going to be, can Fishidy and co really bring this one back for themselves here?
Man, I love College COD so much. 28 off the break. A little bit of progression towards B. Already get a take of control. Zip's going to have to look for a little bit extra kills. He's going to fall, and that's going to leave Purge all alone now. So as soon as he falls, you can see A's fully in control of Team Crooked. And now that Ray takes down Fishidy, he's going to be working towards the bottom of the mini-map. But the rest of Team Fishidy off this respawn, they're going to be looking to battle on into the A side. They overwhelm Crooked on that corner. And now they're looking to hop on board. Strike some good shots, but he can't take down any of them. Somehow, both of them stay alive, but he goes in for seconds, and he's able to take 1 off of that, so that slow progression towards A. It's able to capture 1. Zips gets in there. Crooked from up top, only good for 1. Let's see if Wreckers can find any more progression. You are going to get reinforcements and a player onto B.
They don't want to go down without a fight here. Records, if he wins this one-on-one, surely this is the B zone done and dusted, but all his teammates actually fall around him, and Crooked, he can make the play in from behind. So just because they get those kills, they shut that push down. But here's the thing, because Team Fishidy has had so much time on the point, they still have 40 seconds to work with here.
Strike from behind. Here comes the rest. It's just not enough. They're staggered out, Cruz.
They need to just bunch up.
They need a good regroup and a clean break. 28 seconds left. And this is the exact same position that they were in round number 1. They had points to A, they had points to B, but they're indecisive on where they need to go to. So finally, the break towards A, except it's Andrew Crooked to shut them down at first. Big break from Fishidy, though, and Zip. As it does look like they're able to finish off this A side at a minute onto the clock.
Oh, I thought Ray was about to go back for seconds there and get it done. He knows that Purge is also close. So, I mean, he's just not in a great spot right now. He needs to find a way to exit out of here without losing his life, and he's actually going to find one onto Fishidy in the back. So him playing his life there, massive. He's on 4 in a row. If he can find streak, surely this can help them put this game away over Fishidy.
Ray is having into the grand finals. I'm loving this variant. But look at this break from Fishidy. Finds 2. A little bit of a life lead. Cut down now to 2. And it keeps on falling. Zip brings us even for a moment. And the break onto B stops clock at 42 seconds. Fishidy looking for the map control towards hill number 5 for hardpoint. And it gets into garage, peeks on out. There you go. You find Strike. Working on that second segment. And it gets captured, so it's segment number 3. Now, if you can take care of Crooked, you're going to be all set and ready to go. The shots are there, finishes them off, and this is going to be really close there. No respawns for Team Crooked. Looking for that, but yeah, you find it. Here's Fishidy, though. He's going to find 2. 2 lives to 4. Crooked might be able to break this one back. 2v2. They're going to hop the site. Crooked's going to fall all up to Shatter. 1v2 situation, but
and
Team
they hopped
Fishidy,
on.
they're going to play the objective, and they're going to make sure that this is going to go to a round 4.
Now the situation comes in for Team Fishidy. Not only do you need to win this defensive round, but you need to win this defensive round without giving up 4 ticks of progression to the side of Team Crook. Because now both teams have an offensive win. If they win this, both teams will have a defensive win. It will come down to those ticks. and they got 4 in their first round. So if they can hold them off and not allow them to get 4 ticks of progression, then Fishidy will guarantee themselves defense again in round number 5.
Here we go. Round number 4. Team Fishidy looking to force us all the way towards the B site, as expected for Team Crooked. Zip trying to make the play through the plane, but he's gonna get caught off from rain. Luckily, Records finds 2 in the middle of the map. It's gonna delay this push from Team Crooked, but still Ray, he wants to make a break to this hill. He's gonna eat that nade down to 28 HP and set up, wait for his teammates to back in. Fishidy from the top ropes. Can you drop down? He's gonna find one, making a second one. Can he get all 3? He's gonna escape, but no, Crooked, he finds him, so still a couple players alive there for Team Crooked to hop onto this. And they find the kills too, but Zip this time. So many hero plays from Team Fishidy.
Felt like Fishidy and Co were really, really ready this time to make that play. They knew that that hit coming into B was most likely where Crooked and where Team Crooked was going to make their push, and they were able to completely shut it down. They stacked the point, they shut it down. Still only a 2 life lead here. Still have 40 seconds to work with if you're Team Crooked, so you're definitely not out of this one yet. But you need to find a way to get on your spot at this point. You just can't get trapped.
I mean, both of these teams, they found an attacking round, so really, if Team Fishidy keep Crooked at this 1 tick of progression for the rest of this round, they're going to guarantee themselves defense for round number 5.
You just can't let them get 4. Exactly.
No, Shadow's going to find some time, gets another tick to B before the flood comes in. 20 seconds now to make a break. Look at the setup for player number 1. Fishidy looking to play spoiler for a few players, but he's just feeding information towards Purge. The break comes through. They get 3 down. It's all up to Zip now to keep them off of this hill. 8.5 seconds, and look at Zip. He's going to head underneath this plane, underneath the wing to get Crooked off of this. How is he still alive there? Oh, Andrew, Crooked and Co. Strike gets back on, and they push it to another minute.
Crooked and Strike just went God mode towards the end of that zone. Oh my, I cannot believe that they just got that zone. Absolutely unreal gunfights with 74 used at that range. But now here comes the hard part. They need to try to transition this over to A with so much map control in the favor of Team Fishidy.
Lives are going to be a big factor here, so you need to value them. 2 life advantage for Fishidy, and they go back and forth ever so slowly. Zip brings him up to 3. I think Team Crooked, they have to be careful, because this is getting out of hand for this round. No more respawns remaining. Zip's doing a wonderful job into this. He's 29 and 27. Finally falls, but he got 5 in a row in that sense, doing enough for his squad. You got a whole double up for the lives over Team Crooked, and now they're down to 2. This looks like we're headed to a round number 5, Cruz, unless this SMG duo can make the magic happen. The break not going to be there just yet, and Shrike as he falls.
And they only got 3 ticks, so it's going to be Fishidy's on defense. Absolutely wild stuff here, so they're going to have to learn from this offensive loss here from Team Crooked. I'm so interested to see right now, Colin. Do you think they're going to go towards B again off the rip, or do you think they change it up and go to A this time?
Could you imagine? It's just like they go B all this time, and then finally they hit A, and that's the difference maker to the attacking round. I mean, how many times do we see a control map, and it's just so back and forth towards the end, and then round 5 is just so different. It's so absurd that you just never expect it to happen. Well, I know.
Here's your chance.
I feel it in my bones right here. Another B hit. Nothing changing for Crooked off this attacking rounds. The other player inside the plane looking to win these gunfights, but the collapse expected from Fishidy. They go 1 for 1 into this hill, but laying prone. It's going to be Fishidy to keep them off of it. Tries to find another one, but as long as they're spreading out this kill feed, Crooked's going to have such a hard time to get onto this hill.
Big split, too, because they can hop right back onto this hill. Stop the clock one more time here. And now all they need to do is really just continue to push through on this site. Try to stop these players as they come off spawn. We saw them do this in round number 1 when they won that first offense. Unfortunately, Shatter can't go as big as he went that time and does end up falling. This gives a lot of chance now for Fishidy to push forward and get a good amount of map control.
Fishidy. Bye-bye, Crooked. That's about it. Lives are even. One ticket progression towards B, and it seems like they really want this site. Shrike's gonna expect Records, but the trophy system, a little bit of heroics from the gadget, letting Records get that kill off of it. Shield for his player. Crooked turns it, burns onto Zip. The break starting to come into fruition. They just need to take Perch down to get onto the site, and they're having so much trouble getting this AR off it. Finally, Crooked takes him out. And there you go, to stop the clock, 27 seconds. Crooked even finds Fishidy. Zip now from above, reaps 2 kills, stops the progression. And now time, it's gonna be huge here. 20 seconds left. Team Crooked, they went up 2-0 into this control. It would be a 3-0 reverse sweep into this. 14 Fishidy to win this out. Fishidy winning over to the A side as well. Fishidy finds one. 9.3 seconds, Cruz.
Absolutely wild stuff. Shatter hops on. He stops the clock. He gets the wall bang as well. So, I mean, they get this clock stopped. They're getting the kills right now as well. Playing control still into the favor of Team Fishidy, though. They can still shut this down from the top. I say that, but Crooked, team captain himself, hits his 40th kill of the round, and that should be the A zone. And they get an extra minute on the clock, Seymour.
Too bad you did an over and above this time. Or over or under this time around. Because Crooked is having one, and so is Fishidy. Both captains having a great game here in Checkmate. Minute onto the clock. A 2, making a 1 life lead now that Purge finds Ray. This is gonna be a bloodbath. Shrike into the plane. 2 to the right, not checking his corner. Records is gonna make him pay. Now the life lead swaps into the opposite favor. But only for the meantime. 34 seconds is really what we're looking at to get into this one. Fishidy cleans out Ray. Shatter goes down as well. It's gonna be Team Fishidy back in control of this B site. One last solid push from the side of Team Crooked, and Ray is gonna make it slow down a little bit extra. They're falling like flies. No more respawns, Cruz. Team Fishidy, can they close it out here? 13 seconds left. You get 2 kills again for Team Fishidy, and just nobody can get that break. 2 players left, Strike and Shatter, but a team kill is going to allow Shatter to get right back into this. 5.3 seconds, 1v4. Can he clutch up to the kills? This progression is going to go so slow. Can't find Records, can't find anyone, and Team Fishidy from down 0-2, they climb back and they take the swing map in control.
That might have been the best control I've watched all year long on Checkmate. Wild stuff. Both teams win an offense. Both teams take a defense. It came down to 1 tick of progression to solve for the final defense. They got 1 zone in the very dying second. What was it, like 3 seconds left when Crooked was finally able to hop on in and get that final zone over at the A site. They just couldn't get it on A. They just didn't have the lives. I kind of felt like after they got that A zone, they kind of very sporadically ran up the map as well. They never fully got their feet underneath them to really give themselves a good chance to really be able to secure that final zone. There was no team commodity or team pushes. I feel like that's why they end up losing that final round there. Maybe if they group up, they make a 1 solid push. They just never got the chance to do it, even with the life lead. And Team Fishidy, I mean, you can't take anything away from them. I think Fishidy almost dropped 50 in that map. Crooked almost dropped 45. I mean, the 2 captains came to play, but Fishidy comes out on top, and they do what they needed to do. They take a respawn off this Team Crooked team. They have that search and destroy to fall back on, but we're heading to Garrison Hardpoint next.
Garrison Hardpoint, map number 4, coming up very shortly. Quick little break, and when we come back, the continuation of the grand finals of your CCL Summer 8s, powered by eFuse. And welcome back, everybody, to the CCL Summer 8s, powered by eFuse. This has been a crazy day. I mean, lobby issues galore for this grand final, but we're finally here. Apologize for delays. Garrison Hardpoint up next. Cruz, talk to me a little bit about this matchup.
Not even the players' fault. It's not the players. It's not our fault. It's literally Cold War is torching us. But, I mean, we're headed in towards this Hardpoint on Garrison. Crooked's team, they are down 2-1 in the series here, and I mean, if they want to be able to come back and force a second best of 5, they're going to have to not only take this hard point, which is, you know, their best game mode by far, but they're going to also have to take a search and destroy after this. But it starts with this map. They need to take this map mode combo first.
Look at that. I mean, if you remember, Moscow was Team Fishidy who were in the lead for majority of it, and then Crooked fought on back, and they never gave up. Blue 3 go down for Team Crooked. You can see them all spawning into the bottom right of your mini-maps. They're going to struggle to get this green control to rotate to that second set of rotations in the hill. A good nade placement from Crooked. Gets Fishidy off the strike on through for Crooked. Gets rid of the hill and opens up a route through bricks as well for Strike to take care of. Can he be ready though? For the rest of them, Fishidy's up to the chopping block. Can he get ready for the second one? No, Zip's going to cut him down.
Yeah, I would have loved to have maybe just seen him play his life, call out where those players are, as opposed to trying to hit that one more time there. But basically no time earned on this first hill, because both teams are trying to put full focus into getting this second hill. But Fishidy will be that first team that is set up, trying to set up for a break in through the side of bricks, will be the rest of Team Crooked. And if they don't get a break here, they're going to be in a really rough spot, because now they're on good side spawns. But at one point, this becomes bad side spawns as the longer this hill goes.
Here it goes for sure. Oh, Purge lines him up and drops him. 27 now and counting. Still 34 seconds in this hill. Looking for a break now from Crooked as they have flipped this map. Now they need to get in, and they need to get in fast. Wrecker's going to be around the corner. The Canadian national himself, but not able to find the kills. He's overwhelmed, and the break is through for Crooked. 17 seconds of scrap time. Now here's the hard part. It's getting into the hill 3 setup.
Absolutely. They get the big break, but you're not wrong at all. This is the hardest part of this whole game, is trying to rotate from hill 2 to hill 3 without spawns, especially when you have Fishidy killing top tank, just absolutely raining down hellfire with the FFAR in hand, because, I mean, clearly he's the best FFAR player in the world. He has been absolutely lights out with that gun all weekend. They do get a couple openings through the middle of the map, though, so this should at least open a chance for them to be able to break on, but everybody on Fishidy continue to spawn in the back.
Here comes Crooked. Nice shots from the FFAR. Still, the lead is growing. And it is not stopping at all. Ray, last chance. Get some good shots onto Fishidy, but not able to fully break through this setup. The respawns are going to come through. They're going to hop right back into the hill and keep their lead growing ever as could be. Still 20 seconds left, and I can't believe that I'm seeing Crooked swing at this again. They need to set up, and they need to make sure that they can pin Fishidy back here now.
It's very similar to the start of the Moscow hardpoint. It was a very good start for the side of Team Fishidy, and then Team Crooked, they slowly start to pull their way back into this game. We've seen them pin multiple teams back here this weekend, so if they can find another way to do it to this Team Fishidy team, this is where they can really start to make their comeback in this game. But Fishidy and co, they do such a great job of just breaking out of that spawn trap, and they've actually flipped the spawn trap on its head. They can now try to pin the rest of Team Crooked in that back right-hand side of the map.
Oh, but Ray, he finds records. Nobody in the hill so far. Back and forth the kills are going. Ray's gonna hop on and start collecting this time. Records gets into it. Another kill for Shatter. Here comes the flood from Fishidy. They find 3, make it 4. Full collapse into the hill, and they clear it on out. Still, Crooked, they're spawning into the top right of that minimap. And again, in a bad situation here, because going into that hill number 5, you can flip this out, and if Crooked gets spawned out on the left side now, that's worst case scenario.
Yeah, it absolutely is. These gunfights are pivotal. They absolutely need to win every single one of these. They want to be coming off spawn right now as well. And no, Shatter will get the spawn out. He might actually be able to get in behind one player, though, so this spawn out might not turn into the worst thing ever.
70-point lead. Big one-on-one here. Crooked's going to win it. And now fighting from the right side. They could put Fishidy on the back foot here, but they've struggled to do so far. Ray's gonna find a second one. Crooked hops into this hill. Records from bricks. A good setup. Nade barrage into it. Forces Crooked off of this hill. Gives Fishidy the opening that they need to. The relocation of players. Strike and Crooked back into the mix. Not able to find anything at all. 25 seconds of time. Fishidy looks like they're gonna soak it all up, but Crooked's got one last swing at it.
If Crooked can get into the right positions, they can still absolutely pin all of these players on Team Fishidy in the back and get a good amount of time on P1. Let's not forget that P1, after the first set of rotations, absolutely can become a money hill if you hold the right spawns and zone out the team the right way. And they're doing everything right now, except for Purge winning that gunfight. This opens up so much potential towards the top right-hand side of the map, and he drops Crooked. Huge kills coming in from Purge.
You gotta remember, Cruz, that if Fishidy take this hard point, that's the grand finals. So Fishidy are looking to close this one out here. They don't want to give Crooked a way back into the series. Into the second set of rotation. It is going to be Crooked. This is the best I've seen them so far on Garrison. And I'm surprised I'm seeing them struggle. What's giving Crooked such a hard time?
He's just running into a hot hand right now. Fishidy is 23-12. He's absolutely taking over this game. And I mean, it's hard when your team isn't the team rotating and setting up early. I'm sure if it was the other way around, we would be seeing Team Crooked going on a run right now. Now with 20 seconds left, I think they need to leave one player in this hill and fully prioritize this next hill because Team Fishidy are still in control of those spawns.
This is almost identical to Moscow Hardpoint. If Ray can pick up Fishidy, that's going to be a huge one. He's on 5 in a row looking for streaks now. And the hunt is going to be through. Purge is going to be playing on the opposite side. The crossfire with Zip. Here comes Purge. Ray's not able to find him. Purge! Oh, boy, he locks down all 3 of them. And he's going to hold on to this rotation. A heroic play from the AR player.
That's back-to-back rotations to Satellite that you have had Purge find a 3-piece on the rotation to lock down spawns, to lock down the hill, to make sure that Crooked is uncomfortable. They don't have an easy chance to break on into this. Purge, absolutely. He's been the player of the game right now for me. I don't care that Fishidy is 26-16. All the important kills going the way of Purge right now.
Doing the dirty work for the squad. 29 seconds on this hill. You get the flips for Team Crooked over towards that hill 3. But if you give up the remainder of this time, you better hope you hold all 60 over at hill 3.
This absolutely has to be a full 60 from the side of Team Crooked. Otherwise, this game is going to get dicey and get out of. It's going to blow out of proportion so quickly if they get broken early here.
Well, here comes Zip and Fishidy. Records rotates on in as well. Strike's looking to play spoiler on the backside for Fishidy. It's just one-up wins. Zip wins into tools. He gets onto the side. Records goes down. Zip still keeping up into the back line. The flip comes through. Fishidy spawns on out. And they're completely ruining the setup of Team Crooked. It's all up to Ray. And Shatter. Crooked gets back into it. Records again. Gets it behind. They're going to know that. Records flips onto Strike. If he can get this kill, it's going to be so big. Luckily for Crooked, they spawn into the back there.
But they're only going to get the back 30 from this now as well, so not going to bring themselves back into this game as much as they would have liked to. Yes, maybe you get the first 5-10 seconds as well. So, what, maybe a total of 35 seconds on this hill? It's great, it's good, because you didn't give up too much time to Team Fishidy, but now you need to find a way to get out of this very similarly to the way that we saw Fishidy do so in the last round, and it is not looking like it right now, not with the forward positioning and the setup that Fishidy have going towards this next hill.
They struggled to get out of this last time. They can't allow for that to happen. No room for error right now. Crooked on the platform. Record sneaks on in. 2 kills to the blue boys in blue. Almost a third one, but this is an exit now. Ray's looking to get into this hill. Player is going to be on top of the box. Clears out Zips. The player in green is going to strike on back. That's going to be purged into the hill now. And your AR going to be in there. It gives Crooked the better gunfights to take. On the hill for now. Fishidy looking to play spoiler. All 3 players breaking on out, but they're not winning their gunfights in the hill. Crooked trying to do his best, but still Fishidy winning the trade battle. Winning when they need to. And taking their lead now over 200 points. It's up to these last ones. You have to stay alive if you're Crooked.
Making life so much harder on themselves right now. Fighting on the back foot of every single hill because they're just not winning their rotations. This rotation is everything right now. Ray, huge kill. He's going to have a big one-on-one right outside of Satellite right now, but Records again comes out on top, and that's going to keep the right-hand side of the spawns to the side of Team Fishidy.
They're just slaying through this team. Ray, inside of Elmo, finally finds Records.
They can win here.
They sure can. The spawns from Crooked are going to be back tank. Looking to fight into bricks. Flurry of kills going to go there where Crooked takes down Records. Getting into the hill now for the remainder 30 seconds left. It'll put them up to 180. But the concession is going to follow in shortly. You got to hold on to the rest of this hill if you are Team Crooked. And then get the rotations to that. But they're actually going to be spawning out Fishidy all the way to the bottom left of this. So if they get this flood on, you remember the first hill last time around. It was almost perfect from Team Crooked in the second set of rotations.
This could work out brilliantly for Team Crooked, but they need to start finding some of these gunfights off spawn. And it's Team Fishidy. They've won literally every gunfight off spawn. They get out of that spawn trap. They can now reinforce an attack to the top green.
Be a tough one. North-south spawns for either team. The flood from Fishidy not panning out. Zip's gonna try to get into the fray, but that's 4 down. Fishidy sent packing back to the spawn, all the way back tank. And I have to try again for the second set of waves, but all these players are crooked. They're gonna be set up for success into this hill. With the remainder 34 seconds, they can climb on back into this. You're really looking at the rotation though. Purge making the overextension play into the back line. He can find this kill, takes down Shatter. It's gonna force a couple players on back. You get a couple down, and the contention now into it. Ray not ready for the gunfights. The break comes on through for the remainder 15 seconds. If you're crooked, you gotta go. You gotta go now.
How many times do we see this? Where the final zone, where the final couple of ticks comes down to zone number 2 in a close game on Garrison Hardpoint. 2 players set up inside of the hill for Team Fishidy, and Purge again goes huge. He gets that opening blood.
And Zip to back him up. Shatter, you gotta turn up here. Finds the first one. Second one right around there. Takes down Zip. Oh, but the third one Fishidy around the corner. Somehow crooked. They break on in. 203 to 236. Purge is gonna hop up into that green window. Finds Ray on the back end. The setup's coming on through. The pinch is going to be there. Player number 7 looking to play spoiler. That's Wrecker as they go 2 for 1 into it. Splitting the kill feed back and forth. Crooked alone on this hill. A 1v1 with Fishidy. Almost had a backup there, but Fishidy's going to take the heads up play towards green. The break coming on through. Marginally even. A 10-point difference from these squads. Zips gets a full 3 down. That could be it right now. They got to push on into green. Withstand 1 more wave of attack. 5 more seconds for Team Fishidy to take it all. 2, 1. That's gonna be it. Team Fishidy are your CCL Summer 8 champions, powered by eFuse. This is an insane grand final cruise, and it's all behind this AR player right here.
Purge just went so huge. Every single money hill, that man was holding down those spawns. You can see why he was their first pick. He was Fishidy's first pick in the draft.
Oh, yeah.
And he is showing why right now. Insane plays from him. I pointed it out in the second set of rotations. He got a 3-piece on rotation 1. Gets a 3-piece on rotation 2 to hold spawns. This time through, they get it done. He finds that opening to open it up for them to be able to get back inside of that hill. Insane stuff coming in from him just to be able to get back into that hill by himself, let alone help his team win that entire game. And we can't take anything away from Fishidy either. Man dropped 40 on back-to-back maps. Goes game 3, 40 kills. Game 4, 40 kills. Crazy, crazy stuff coming in from Fishidy to close that game out.
Back to back. Let's take a look at that bracket. Let's take a look at the run that we had. Hats off to Crooked and Co. They made the run from losers round 1 into the grand finals. They looked top tier to send Fishidy into that second best of 5, but they fall just short into that. The run was fantastic. The dream was big. And when you dream big, they shot for the stars. The only thing standing in their way was the Goliath, the team that held it down the whole way through, only dropping 2 maps throughout the whole tournament. Team Fishidy, your CCL Summer 8s champions. That they had such a great run from start to finish. The squad of 4, I mean, the trust was immaculate. The guns, they looked hot. And their team play, it was on fire. This was just such a good tournament from this squad, and they deserve every penny at the end of it.
I'm here for the storylines, and I would have loved to have seen Team Crooked come from the losers bracket, make that insane run. It would have had to have been, 9 series they would have had to have played to get it done. Could have been the simple situation of them just running out of gas. They both are, I mean, even all 3, every single respawn was so close in that series. It was really just the search and destroy that Fishidy was able to really dominate and take. But I mean, damn, just big congratulations to Fishidy.
Take it in, folks. You're champions of the CCL Summer 8s, powered by eFuse, Purge, Zip, Captain Fishidy, Records, and Deadly Shot. They did the duty, they did the dirty work, and they made it work in the end. You're champions. Let that sit in.
Purge looks like he's ready to go on another vacation already.
Oh, he does. This is looking good. Fishy's looking a little sus back there.
He's not the red character. He's fine.
He's fine. What a tournament from this squad, though. We didn't get to see 3 deadly shots towards the end of it, but man, I'm sure that he was cheering his squad on from start to finish. It was a great tournament from these guys. It can't claim otherwise, but not to mention your second place team either. Team Crooked. They went through the gauntlet. They went through the losers bracket. They made history the way they moved into the grand finals. They just couldn't put the cherry on top at the end of it. They walk home with $300 at the end of the day. Not a bad payday at all across these 2 days. I couldn't have been happier to see these teams play. It was a great weekend. It was some fantastic Call of Duty, and man, I love College COD. I mean, these players, they are insane. They always put on a show, and I hope that in this 8th tournament they learn something. You know, you got Crooked and you got Fishidy, like at the head of your team. I'm sure that there was things to learn for some of these players getting picked up. I think it's a great learning experience. I think it's a great opportunity. I just think that this weekend it went fantastic.
And I have to give a huge shout out as well to eFuse and CCL, both teams, both of the admins. Fantastic job running this tournament this whole weekend. It was probably one of the smoothest tournaments me and you have ever done together as well. So, I mean, hats off to them. Benji on the producing side as well. Absolutely wonderful as always. So, I mean, I couldn't say anything better about these two organizations coming together to make this beautiful baby of a tournament called the CCL Summer 8s.
Well, CCL, we love you. eFuse, we love you, the players. You were fantastic this weekend, but this is where we're going to have to close it out. I hope you all have a fantastic night. It was a great weekend, and I can't wait to see you next time over here on CCL.